That was fucking crazy. This is the best way. I didn't want to swear to start off, but that was fucking crazy. It's the best I can say to describe that, what just happened. Ilia Topuria just KO'd Max Holloway. He's the first person to do that, first person to officially on, like, the record books to knock down Max Holloway. He did it. He keeps his featherweight title, gets his first defense. Honestly, he's in the running for Fighter of the Year. I know Alex Pereira was like the one we were saying beforehand, but honestly, after this year, I think Ilia Topuria has an honest argument because are you really gonna say that we're just gonna put like for combining all of their wins this year that you're gonna say that Jamal Hill, Yuri Prohaska, and Khalil Roundtree Jr. are better than both of Alexander Volkanovski and Max Holloway? That's kind of my argument right now of it there. If Alex Pereira gets Fighter of the Year, which I think he will, because I know he broke the record for shortest time between 3 title defenses, or whatever it was, but he beat Ronda Rousey's like long-time record. If he wins, I'm not gonna be mad or anything there, but honestly, I could really see Ilia Topuria winning that. But that's insane. And I know people don't like Ilia Topuria, and people are like, "Oh, we're in dark ages right now of it." Where I'm like, why is this so bad? Like I get people being sad, like, "Oh, Max Holloway lost," but like, calm the fuck down and get the fuck over it. Like, Ilia Topuria is probably one of the most exciting fighters in the UFC right now, and honestly, obviously he's only had 7 fights in the UFC, but his chance of being pound for pound one of the best fighters and one of the most exciting fighters, which is a rare combination at times. But it's insane. Honestly, it's becoming more prevalent in the modern thing of it there. I know, like, some of the more recent champions, like Bilal Muhammad and Merab Dvalishvili, people aren't really that entertained by, and I'm not saying I'm the most entertained by, but you get the concept that people were kind of worried about that. But then they're also, like, shitting on Ilia Topuria, who gets KOs, gets submissions. When he goes to a decision, it's like you just witnessed a murder and you need to report a crime. Looking at you, Josh Emmett, which, how the fuck did he not get KO'd? That's insane. Like, what's his chin made out of? But this was insane because first and second round, very competitive. I had it 1-1, but honestly, you could argue it to either or. Is very close, very competitive. Max Holloway was doing some, like, kind of trying to stomp his quad, kind of do like an oblique kick because Ilia Topuria's got like a weird like scar thing on his like oblique, which I think is just from an old injury they had surgery on, so it left a scar. So he had to, he started targeting that, which he was working at points just to get hits, but also weirdly enough, Ilia Topuria was throwing more leg kicks than I think I've ever seen him. Maybe in his combined UFC fights, I saw him throw more leg kicks in this fight, which he wasn't throwing like spamming them or anything, but he was mixing them in there, which is good to see if you're an Ilia Topuria fan because it's going to make him even more dangerous. He mix it up. He's more unpredictable in terms of what he's going to be throwing because he's now got boxing, got leg kicks. He's got all of that. And then we see in the third round, he wobbles Max Holloway, and then Max Holloway recovers, and then he wobbles him again. And then, again, he drops him and then finishes him. And it was sad. I was screaming, but I was also like, this Ilia Topuria is the real deal. And I already thought he was the real deal after the Volkanovski fight, and that's why I picked Ilia Topuria to win. But moving on from here is what I really want to talk about, because Ilia Topuria is most likely going to be fighting Alexander Volkanovski. And honestly, I did see I haven't watched all the post-fight press conferences yet, but apparently Dana confirmed that Volkanovski's fighting. I know Volkanovski won the cage, but that doesn't necessarily mean that's going to be the next fight, but you get the idea. I'm not necessarily the biggest, I'm not the most hyped for it because the outcome is, to me, it's already concluded that Ilia Topuria is going to KO Volkanovski, and I know anything can happen, but I just don't see it. Volkanovski's, how old is he now? How long he fought in March, took the whole year off, is going to probably fight in, hopefully, March of next year. Probably whenever the Australia card is. I think it's in March, maybe February. Maybe they fight in January, the January pay-per-view. That'd be kind of cool. That's what I want, but if they're going to fight, I want them to fight near the start of the year, and then I want him to fight the winner of Diego Lopez versus the winner of Sterling, Evloev, because honestly, I just don't want either of those guys to be waiting out long. But I know if Evloev wins, I can really see him sitting out to be like, I deserve a title shot. I have a win over Lopez. I shouldn't have to fight him twice when I already beat him, even though it was on a week's notice. And he's like, well, I'm undefeated. I have all these wins. I have Arnold Allen. I have Dan Ige. I have, if he wins, he has Aljamain Sterling. He has Diego Lopez. Diego Lopez win is honestly aging to be, I think that's his best win, even though it's on a week's notice and that, but you get the idea. If Sterling wins, I could honestly see him fighting Diego Lopez, but I could also be like, well, let's give it to the champion who didn't get an immediate rematch against Sean O'Malley from that and is one of the bantamweight goats. I could see Ilia Topuria fighting him. We get the idea. I just want to see that more activity and get like even more hype over who wins. After that, that's kind of what I want. Because if Evloev can beat Diego Lopez, even though I know he beat him once, but once again, week's notice, and was a very close fight in terms of those submission attempts from Diego Lopez. If he can beat him again and beat him dominantly, or at least win clearly, I will be 10 times more hyped. Even if he like stinks up the fight, he makes it really boring, which I can't see that happening, but you get the idea. If he wins, which he's got a chance of winning, he's got a good style to win that fight, even though Diego Lopez I think would win the rematch. But if he wins, I'd be hyped for the fight because you get two guys who are undefeated, neither of them have lost, and both of them are pretty top of the division. If Aljamain Sterling wins and then beats Diego Lopez, I'm super hyped for the fight because you get a bantamweight champion trying to become two-division champion. He's one of the bantamweight goats, whether you like him or not. I don't really like him, but I will still call him one of the bantamweight goats. Or if Diego Lopez win, that's probably my most excited in terms of the fight because I'm like, I think Ilia Topuria would win, but I'm also like, it's fucking Diego Lopez. He can win of it there. And I feel like if you're to beat Ilia Topuria, you have to finish him or be like a lot stronger than him, like an Islam Makhachev, who's obviously a weight class above and, cuts a lot of weight, but you get the idea. But even then, Islam Makhachev has some pretty competitive fights, like Dustin Poirier. Volkanovski won. Even fights before he won the title, like, what was his name? The one Brazilian dude he fought when Islam Makhachev was, like, in the top 15, like, he was just in the top 15. He took him to the 4th round. Went to a decision with Drew Dober. Like, he has competitive fights of it there, and they're like, he clearly is winning, but he has competitive fights. Like, he's not dominating necessarily, but he's also just really good. That's honestly the super fight I'd want, but that's for later on. But that's my thoughts on the fight. I have more videos to make on the other fights, but that's it for me from right now.